you are the inferior one. Hey everyone, Templar74 here with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today's Yu-Gi-Oh video is going to be my thoughts and impressions regarding the latest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh VRAINS, episode 96, Lightning's Crime. And I gotta be honest with you guys, this episode was a really good plot episode, and it did a good job at filling some holes that have been in the series since day one, and has answered some questions that fans of the series have pretty much had since day one. It was a good plot episode in that aspect. Everything has pretty much led up to this, the big climactic duel between Revolver and Lightning, and we also got that new ending, and that new ending was just fantastic. So you combine all of this together, and it made for a really great episode in my opinion, but we'll talk about all of these things soon enough. So at risk of further rambling, let's move on to the actual episode. So the episode begins with a recap of where we've been so far to get to this point. We saw a little bit of when Revolver sent that message to Lightning. We saw Soulburner's defeat, and back in the real world, we saw Kusanagi being recovered by Faust and Genome. So yeah, we start off with that recap before actually diving into the episode. And the episode pretty much kicks off with Lightning appearing before Revolver and demands to know what Revolver meant in his message by saying, "I know your secret." And Revolver plays a little bit of a mind game here with Lightning, pretty similar to what Spectre did. And Revolver reveals that he knows why Lightning thinks the Ignis are inferior and imperfect, and why he created Bowman. And it's at this time Frog and Pigeon appear, and we actually see them do something strange. They're actually cheering for Revolver, and even the Frog is quick to point out, it's strange that Revolver was at one time going to destroy the network, destroy us all, kill a lot of people, and now we're cheering him on as he is the hope for humanity at this point. And as they're broadcasting this, we go to Playmaker, and Playmaker is still enraged by what happened to Soulburner, and he decides to take off and find them, saying that he won't let his team's sacrifices go to waste, and he will avenge Soulburner's pain. And we actually see Playmaker getting angry as he takes off and goes after Lightning to go find Lightning and Revolver. And we also go back to the real world once again with Genome and Faust, and they're coming to you live from the hot dog truck. We learn that Byra is still on the boat, and Faust and Genome are going to pretty much be watching in and pretty much taking over the hot dog truck. And this is where they're going to watch this duel go on, which they all knew was coming, that Revolver was going to confront Lightning. And we see the duel actually get underway because Lightning is vowing to shut Revolver up and to shut him down, and he wastes no time. He brings out his field spell Armatos Coliseum, and he actually brings out a new Link 3 monster called Plum Blum Tyrant. And he also has a very interesting counter that we learn about, but not before Bowman and Playmaker arrive, and we get more dialogue. And it's at this time when Playmaker and I appear. Revolver turns to I and gives him a quiz, and a hard quiz. Revolver asks I, "Tell me, where is free will?" And we learn after a little bit of time here, after I is just clueless in it, but go figure, I's clueless. Revolver reveals that free will is located in memory. And we go back to his father's death of Dr. Kogami, and he says, this is memory. And memory is where free will is located. And we learned that Revolver had analyzed the Ignis data and ran the simulations, because if you guys remember way back in the series beginning, Dr. Kogami had run all these simulations and basically came to the conclusion that the Ignis and the humans would destroy one another. The Ignis would destroy humans. And we learned that that's not, well, yes, that's accurate. That's not entirely accurate, because as Revolver was analyzing this data, yes, what his father said was accurate. His father's responses were accurate. But what his father was doing was he was looking at all of the Ignises as one collective unit, not individually. Revolver learned as he analyzed the Ignis's data, all of the Ignis had multiple opportunities and chances to prosper with humans, except one, Lightning. Lightning, no matter what simulation you put him in, it destroyed everything. It destroyed the future with AI and humans, no matter if you paired it with Aqua or Earth or all of the Ignises together. Anytime lightning got thrown into the collective, everything would fall apart, everything would go into chaos, and everything would be destroyed. Meaning that lightning is the only Ignis that is non-compatible with anything. And this comes as a shock to everybody, including Bowman, who, even though Revolver was attempted to be shut up and hushed by Lightning, Bowman tells Lightning, no, I want to hear what Revolver says. I'm interested in this tale. And Bowman is surprised by this. We're all surprised to learn that if the Ignises are combined as one, everything is destroyed. And pretty much Lightning couldn't cope with this. Lightning couldn't handle the fact that he had no future, but the other Ignises did. And that is what drove Lightning to destroy the Cyverse world and to create this plan to create Bowman and bring all the Ignises together, basically saying, if I can't have a future, nobody can have a future. And we also learned that this revelation was not revealed to Spectre. Spectre picked up on it on his own, and when the Knights pretty much learned about this and Revolver learned about this, he realized that it was the Knights of Hanoi's reckoning. That while yes, Dr. Kogami was right in the sense that if the Ignises came together, humanity would be destroyed, essentially what Revolver learned is if you can eliminate Lightning and prevent the Ignises from coming together, that future doesn't have to happen. So really at this point, the only Ignis that needs to be destroyed is Lightning. And this is where the Knights of Hanoi are trying to get redemption. Now that they know this, they want to destroy Lightning. It's still unclear if they're going to go after the other Ignises, I'll put it that way, but they know that if Lightning is destroyed, if the other Ignises survive, it's not the end of the world. Which is really strange when you consider Wendy. Wendy had a future with humans, and Wendy's a murderer. And that was just something else that was mind-boggling to me. How is it that Lightning is the only one that has no future with humans, and yet Wendy, who is a flat-out murderer, killed a kid with a car by running him over, he is redeemable? I mean, it just made no sense. It was astonishing. And yeah, I think that was the biggest shock of the whole episode. But of course, now with this whole revelation out there, this whole secret revealed, Lightning is basically doubling down. He's like, I am not going to let this transpire. I am going to destroy everything. And he actually does this because when Revolver begins his turn vowing to instill discipline and justice on Lightning, Lightning actually is able to counter Revolver's destruction effects of cards with a new trap card called Armatios Gloria. And basically what this does is it nullifies all the destruction effects of Revolver's rocket monsters. However, undeterred, Revolver brings out Borreload Dragon to instill discipline into Lightning. That's how he phrased it. I will instill justice into you, discipline into you with this noble monster, and that is where the episode leaves off. So yeah, that was the episode, but that's not the end of where this whole thing went. We also got the new ending, Ending 5, which is just freaking beautiful. It really goes back to the seriousness of Vrains. And I mean, yes, the first ending rather was upbeat, and I liked ending 1. When we got into ending 2, Writing Life, I'm like, okay, this is more like what Vrains should be, because it's a serious series. It's frankly a sad series. There's not really a whole lot of happiness and joy at this. And so I really liked Writing Life in that aspect. And then of course we got Boy, which was the third ending, and I'm like, okay, back to the upbeat ending. Why? This just doesn't fit Vrains. And then ending 4 wasn't much better. It was still uplifting, and it was a good ending, don't get me wrong, but it just didn't feel Vrains. It just didn't match what the series was. And now this new ending here, it matched it perfectly. It was freaking beautiful. Are You Ready by BIS. This was really a good one to pick. The scenes that they picked matched the music perfectly. It just fit Vrains more to a T. It was more emotional, more impactful, more serious of an ending, much like Writing Life, and I really did like it in that aspect. It was a very good ending and a very good way to cap off an action-packed episode and a plot-filled episode nonetheless. Overall, I give this this episode a 9 out of 10. It was a really good episode. It had a lot of really good dialogue, and it's really starting to put things together on just what needs to happen for AIs and humans to coexist with one another. And I'm very interested to see where this duel is going to go, although my prediction is that Revolver is going to win. Revolver is going to win, and probably what's going to end up happening is Bowman is going to follow his AI instincts. He's going to absorb lightning, and pretty much then it comes down to you have to destroy Bowman because lightning is there, and if all the Ignises unite, the world is doomed. I do think that's where this is going to go, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see for next week to learn if that actually happens. So with all of that being said, in the comments section down below, let me know what you guys thought about this week's episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was just there? What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts on the new ending? Just let me know what your guys' thoughts are about all of this in general in the comments section down below, because as always, I enjoy hearing from you. Alright everyone, as always, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day everybody, and I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye everybody.